I am from the roots of my great-great-grandparents from way back when, to the pain of slavery when it was popular then. I am from the slashes of leather to the broken of skin, from the tears that no longer exist to the fear that left and the courage that came in. I am from the beatings that turned into killings, the killings on the street. I am from the beauty that turned into jealousies that my sisters are trying to compete. I am from the many hours of hard work to the sweat of blood trying to gain freedom, to the separation that had to hurt, to the cold, dirty floor we had to sleep on. I am from the arrest of Mandela to the belittling term of monkey, from the starvation of the children in Haiti to the sound of freedom. I am from the we shall overcome to the following of the drinking gourd, from the Underground Railroad to the praying to my Lord. I am from the granting of serenity to the wisdom of my land, from the highest expression love to the caring helping hands. I am from those who were mocked by the mockers to those that don't see their flaws, from the highest peak of intelligence to the gazing at life in awe. I am from the hope of my ancestor to the dream of the slave, from the Psalms 23rd to the knowing that my God can save. I am from the burnt offerings left on the altar to the ashes dumped in a clean place, from the sin that I was born in to God who gave me his loving grace. I am from the depths of this earth, hidden under the crust, to the stars in the sky, to the streets of dust. I am from the shamed lies, to the painful cries, to the wearied eyes, to the dreadful lies. I am from the redemption and the taking of condemnation. I am from the resisting of Satan to all of his temptation. I am from the swag like my daddy put that flare on the mic. I illuminate, I ain't afraid of the night. I am from his unconditional love to his wonderful mercy, from his never-failing word to his promise to live with him above. I am from him to her, from he to she, from that to it. I'm from history.
As I conclude another day and gaze into a mirror, I'm not sure if my eyes lie or if my vision is getting clearer. I used to think I was average and wouldn't amount to much. Bad decisions made, attitude to match, I was a punk. I let the hatred of others affect my self-inflicted cuts. But that was back when I was blind, before I realized how rich this African history of mine was back in time. Now it's time to embrace who I am and who I'm destined to be. This world has a way of veiling your dreams. That's why success, it was hard for me to see. And we stay stuck to the streets physically and mentally. Instead of in class attentively, we're staying hooked to trends and being programmed by TV. So listen to me for a second. I hope you're hearing me. Learn your history because it's the epitome of divinity. And you'll see that we didn't begin with slavery like the history books make it seem to be. No one's paying me. This mind is free. No longer in the change of the enslaved mentality. That's where some of our brothers and sisters are lacking. They don't do their own history search. They easily accept what's being told by supremacist factions. So it's time we take action. If we want the truth, we must demand it. And if you can't stand it, allow your butt to be planted right there so you don't panic. This passion is pure. We can't plan it. But if we come together like family, we once again rule this planet. Yeah, I know I've been ranting, but that's just me being candid. I honestly would believe we can all reach Marcus Garvey's standard. But even he was taken from us for the movement he managed. I don't know why him or Malcolm died. It's like our uprise, they're trying to ban it. I'm a little upset about that. But if I debate any of these points during any month, I'm labeled angry, arrogant, and black. But they simply confuse my passion for anger, which is part of our character. We must embrace it, educate it, so that it's our weapon, not our perisher. That way, we can speak up, speak out, and clearly let the truth be known. But you got to learn your worth, do work, and stop wasting so much time in the media and on the phone. Give yourself a chance, or you'll never understand the determination of Angola's fearless Queen Nzinga. Sure, she was out way before warrior Princess Zina. And if the ladies aren't the physical type, Queen Tai can show you how her political ties kept Egypt on a rise. These Africans took care of their communities, and it didn't stop with them. We're up to bat right now, so show the potential you really have within. And I know with the troubles we're facing, many people aren't relating. But you must try to find a way out, pray, and be patient. And know the answer doesn't always come with retaliation. I'm tired of watching us fall into traps. When will we find those in real need? We still send food overseas before the baby in the ghetto gets a pumpkin seed. But it's our turn. If we can't have the respect of others, then their judgment is not to our concern. But we degrade ourselves or our people like hate isn't a sin. Instead of building one another, we retract a neighbor's success so no one wins. All a part of the inferiority complex we must release and throw in a den, or our hearts, minds, and spirits won't mend. And as God's first people, we should keep faith and confidence and find our way back to Him. And we find hope, we can build our brains faster, like we love to do our cars. And we can shine by tossing our material bling and reaching for the stars. Our people need to be enlightened while their awareness is heightened, so we can bring our presence back. We can stand together and both make it, say congrats and add that we're both black. Unity, self-control, peace, and better decision-making are just a few ideas we can utilize to decline this mental mutilation and economic castration. From society, we all need separation, self-restraint, not reparations. No more self-pity. We've been pacing for placement in this race by waiting way too long. We are too strong, and I'll never stop speaking truth. I could care less if anyone objects to what I want to pursue. But we need to stand up for our people. These words are long overdue. If you want to be respected, first you must respect you. Gotta love all, but we tend to trust a few. Take responsibility for your actions and the values you want to imbue. This is just a spiritual tool to help us all get through. Fix some quick issues like an emergency room. We can be the best, that fact is nothing new. But as we all know, brothers and sisters, we ain't perfect. We got work to do.
For every speech there is a vision, a path to be paved, an obstacle to overcome, and a soul to be saved. Stand in the pulpit, old, bold, and brave. Look to your onlookers and seize the day. She opens her mouth, voice crisp and kind, subtle yet full-bodied like age does wine. She exclaims, "Don't you cry for me, but do not let me go. For I have walked with those who got the whole world to follow. I have seen hate and prejudice collapse under their own weight, and I have learned that love is the only gravity that it takes." She shifts her body, rising from her bed, rising with every ounce of will that she had, her speech brief but potent, for every ear was open, ready for the lessons to be learned from the frail lady in the hospital gown. I was raised to believe buses had no seats, schools had no books, and water knew ethnicity. Ghosts marched down my streets, and yet I was to hide. But I stood strong, never lost my pride. Her voice grows weaker, but her message is still clear. Her family surrounds her, engulfs her to hear. Though I was raised in graver times than these, I helped bear the world we now do see. It was hard, many bled, but we marched as soldiers do. So you shall enjoy the fruit of the seed we grew. Catch the bus to school and study those books, my child. Don't look down on no man, and don't let no man bring you down. And when thirst comes upon you, take pleasure in its cold waters. Baptize in its cool runnings, and never forget the face of your Father. For pride will never leave you, so as long as you hear me, don't you cry for me, honey, but don't you let me go. Her family lets her sleep now, or rather she lets them go. For now it is their story, their pride to let show. Her eyes grow silent as her body unlocks. She relaxes and smiles, but never looks back to us. For I know her story. I know her path. I will hold on to the gift her era did grasp. Every person in every nation, man, woman, and child, born under heavenly clouds, equal in life as we are in death, but always remembered for what we do best. From the young woman whose face was lost in the crowd as she listened to a man speak of his dreams, to the day she lay at the feet of St. Peter where freedom bells eternally ring, I remember, as so do many, the fight she and her brothers fought for me. And when times get tough and civility has its doubts, I will not bow my head in defeat, for I remember, and I will never let her go.
Day, December 2nd. Year, 2000. Little girl of 11. Braided hair with sun-kissed skin, looked out across a sea of mitts. Old to her, but in reality still kids. Look, a black one. Seen a girl one yet? She looked up, she looked down, her eyes rolled all around. Where's the one that looks like me, with caramel skin, and of course the she? There she is now. To her surprise, the mitt looked back at her square in the eyes. Wow. Even though she had broken her bearing, the mitt's demeanor was warm and caring. The mid waved back at her for a while, and at that moment, the girl's dreams began with a smile. Years passed, and her dream became real, but negative emotions she began to feel. What am I doing? Do I really want this? Regimented life in exchange for college bliss? The teen eventually did go. Of course, people were there that she did know. Summer night fun with some newly striped third class. So many questions like, are the classes hard to pass? Will I be okay? And what did you do? How did you know this place was right for you? To answer her question, a young man looked her way and said, well, all I did was pray. Pray? Pray? The one spirit-filled girl had lost her way, months of doing her own thing and never listening to what God had to say. She got on her knees and did just that, pray, for the futures and the challenges that did await, because she's not the captain of her soul or the master of her fate. Whether the seas were hard or the winds proved fair, the teen's sleep summer began with a prayer. The years have proved long, the fight has been rough. The little girl, now woman, never knew she was so tough. See, 5 began, but only 1 remains. Determination flows all through her veins. To continue a legacy that has never been completed, pressing on and with the refusal to be defeated. For every mountain, God makes all things new, and I never would have made it without you. She never would have made it without you. Though the days are heavy and the nights are long, this journey continues with a smile, prayer, and song.
As I thought of what to say and what to write about, I thought about rewriting history, starting over on a new page, going back to a time long ago, changing up the historical gaze. I found another topic, though not quite as eloquent as those. As a student of history, it crossed my mind, what does history really show? How do I analyze its truth, even if it doesn't relate to me? It's a narrative, I decided, based upon recorded facts. To write history is to choose a life and narrate the struggles of that. To say a moment in time, an event, is more important than the rest. History isn't written for the sake of progression, written to teach a lesson. It's written for those who love stories because the endings always keep you guessing. It's no different with Black history, a story about my people. But I began to explore different answers. History wasn't like a book. You can't divide it into chapters. It's wrought with human struggle, something pages just can't capture. Black history is a narrative of you just as much as it is me. It engulfs our perception of the world, which shapes how the world will be. So when I thought about rewriting history, what if you could change these facts? If we could turn back the hands of time and get all those old greats back, what would King say today? Well, no one could really know. He might remark on how far we've come or how far we still have to go. So I'm not so high and mighty to think I can control space and time, but when you control people's perception, essentially you control the mind. So what does all this mean, this history and perception thing? We must use our history usefully, not just interpret facts, because it's only as important as we perceive them to be. I can name a list of actors in the narrative of Black history. I could give a select few the glory. It's not what they would want. We all must share in the story. Now, Rosa, Malcolm, and Martin, yes, they drew a line in the sand, but none so serious as the challenge, which history must demand. History can't be lost. This generation does not need saving. The time for the greats is over. What history must demand, no lack of courage or bravery. Now, each one of us must stand. We can't depend on a few to lead us, for even they could fall astray. We must live out this book of history each and every day. So no fond words of wisdom can I lay down at your feet, except to challenge all who hear to shape the world you wish to see. Thank you.